off with this sunset view tonight. How about that? What a beauty on this Sunday night of Labor Day weekend. Some of those thin clouds that have been hanging around all day, making for a glorious, glorious way to close out this day. As we say welcome, Carson Meredith with you in the Wave Now studios. Hope all is well. Hope you've had a good start to your holiday weekend. Hopefully you have the day off tomorrow, but if you don't, we're glad you're heading to work, even if you might not be. It's just the way it works, right? Our business is 24/7, 365. We work all kinds of holidays, so we get it if you're stuck heading back to work tomorrow. But if you're not, you're going to be treated to more weather to enjoy on Labor Day Monday. But as we get past the holiday, there are some very minor adjustments that we are going to talk about tonight. Mainly with rain chances, especially towards the end of the week. And then the temperature trend. It's becoming a little more strung out, I guess you could say, with some cooler temperatures coming back by the end of the week. So some minor adjustments that we will talk about tonight. And we'll also mention the tropics because it is getting a little busy once again. So here we go now. There's that view of that sunset one more time. How good is that? I'm not usually this late in the evening with my live streams. Maybe I should start doing 8 o'clock streams more when the sun's going down. You see Wavy giving everybody the update on the weather app, sending the notification that we are live tonight. 77 our current temperature. We got a breeze out of the north and northeast. Keeps reinforcing that dry air, that comfortable feeling air. Another great day to be outside today. We hit 82 in Louisville, which was our forecast high. And tonight is the last night of meteorological summer. Now, what's the difference? Well, in case you're not aware, meteorological seasons, to make it easier to keep track of all the data, are a little different from the astronomical seasons. Remember, the astronomical seasons are based on the tilt of the Earth and things like that. But meteorological summer goes from June 1st to August 31st. August 31st, of course, is today. And as we wrap up this meteorological summer, it looks like, yet again, it's going to go down as a top 10 warmest on record. Now, earlier in the summer, it was a very, very hot summer. Second hottest of all time, in fact, at one point, I believe. But because we've had a cooler August than normal, that has dropped our average for this summer just a little bit. Even so, you see it highlighted right here, 2025, the summer of 2025, has an average temperature of about 79.7 degrees. Now, the average temperature is everything, highs, lows, and everything in between. And that's pretty warm. And you can see the trend. This century, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've had 8. 8 of the top 10 warmest summers on record have been in this century. Not going to get in any debates or anything like that. It's just an interesting piece of information. It's been definitely, we've had some warmer summers in the last 25 years. And I really think a big reason for that is warmer nights. Now, that's a whole nother debate, talking about the heat island effect here in Louisville, because it is rather significant, as we all know. But it's really these warmer nights in June and July, especially for this summer, that are kind of keeping that average temperature on the higher end. We didn't necessarily have a lot of extreme heat this summer. We had persistent heat. We had a lot of days in the low 90s. Had a few days around 95, 96, but we never had 98, we never had 99, we never had 100. So it was just kind of a combination this summer of more persistent heat as well as those very warm evenings that wound up giving us another top 10 warmest summer ever. We'll wait to see what today's final numbers are to see if it adjusts the placement of summer 2025 on the list, but there's a very high likelihood that it will go down as a top 10 summer, no matter what. Thought we'd just lead off with that as we close out meteorological summer and head into meteorological fall starting tomorrow. Tonight, it'll feel like fall again. 58 our forecast low. Mostly clear, comfortable outside the city. Low to mid 50s is a good bet yet again. For your Labor Day, there are no major changes to our Labor Day forecast. As we've talked about the last few days, there are going to be, I should say, a few more clouds tomorrow. More of those cumulus clouds as opposed to those thin, wispy clouds. And we will be a couple degrees warmer, too. Our forecast high is 85 on Monday, lower 80s elsewhere. And we still have that 10% rain chance Monday afternoon for those of you south of the Kentucky Parkways. The location of those rain chances tomorrow has not changed. It's really thanks to basically, we'll just call it a boundary in the atmosphere, a disturbance, whatever you want to call it. It's down in the Smoky Mountains tonight. It's going to kind of retreat north and west, so it's kind of going to go in an opposite direction as we go through tonight and early tomorrow. It's going to give us just enough moisture in our southern counties for maybe a couple of downpours in this zone right here. So Litchfield, E-Town, Bardstown, Hodgenville, Springfield, Lebanon, Campbellsville, Columbia, Greensburg, Mumfordville. If you live near any of those cities and towns, that's where we'll have to watch the radar for a few downpours Labor Day afternoon. Up towards Louisville, along I-64, into southern Indiana, all good. Staying dry tomorrow. But you see Futurecast doing a nice job pinpointing where we might have some wet weather in our southern counties. I'd say between, in general, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow would be our best window to maybe see a few of these downpours. And even then, it's just a 10 or 20% chance. So southern counties only for that rain chance on Labor Day. Now, you do notice as we go into Monday night, clouds start to fill back in, and we may all see an isolated shower Monday night. That, too, is a pretty slim chance. But the increase in cloud cover will kind of be a precursor to better shower chances Tuesday and Wednesday. This part of the forecast, I will tell you, hasn't changed a ton. It's towards the end of the week. We've got some adjustments. But we'll go for Tuesday now. We'll focus on Tuesday. This is 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. And once again, you see the better rain chances are in Kentucky. But there will be a little more moisture to work with further north on Tuesday. So more of us will have that chance for a few showers, maybe even 1 or 2 rumbles of thunder Tuesday afternoon. But you notice on Futurecast that coverage is pretty scattered on Tuesday. It's just a 30% chance for Tuesday afternoon. So that means some of you will get missed. A lot of us get missed tomorrow. Quite a few of you get missed on Tuesday. And we'll have to keep that trend going on Wednesday as well. So we get a little break Tuesday night. See, it stays quiet Tuesday night, and then we head into Wednesday, and that initial system is still hanging around on Wednesday. So we keep those shower chances nearby. I will tell you there are some models that are trying to trend Wednesday drier just a little bit. I'm not ready to say that just yet, so we'll keep a 30% chance for more hit-and-miss showers, maybe some thunder on Wednesday too. Then we get towards the end of the week, and this is kind of when things start to change just a little bit, all right? Here's Thursday afternoon, early afternoon, and the cold front is still on track to arrive Thursday. It looks like a midday, early afternoon setup here. And you can see on Futurecast there's still a good bit of moisture ahead of that front. And Thursday really is going to be our best shot to see showers and storms in general. It's about a 40% chance right now. That obviously still means that some of you will get missed on Thursday. So there will be an unlucky few that will not see rain at all this week. But many of you will see at least some rain. Is it going to be enough to end the drought? No. I do think the drought's going to get a little worse. Maybe we can get enough rain on Thursday in particular to kind of pause the worsening of that drought. We'll see. Regardless, Thursday features the best rain and storm chance with the front. We're not too worried about severe weather right now. That timing is something we need to watch. If the front moves in during the afternoon, some of those storms may perk up a little bit, but I'm not overly worried about severe weather at this point, which is good. But we get into Thursday afternoon, we still have some scattered storms, and the front's still expected to move through quickly Thursday night. Here's the big change in our forecast tonight. We will still have some cooler air move in behind that front. But at the same time, the pattern, there's kind of a gap, if you will, between the cold front exiting to the east coast and the ridge of high pressure settling in from the west. There's still a little bit of an empty space, if you will, a blank space. Some of you will get that reference. There is still a little bit of a blank space in between the ridge to our west and the front pushing off to the east. And some models today are suggesting that another short wave or another disturbance could slide through here Friday, giving us one last dose of spotty showers before we go into a quieter weekend. So the big change is we've had to add rain chances for Friday. More specifically, Friday afternoon and Friday evening, as this last little piece of energy tries to scoot east. And once it does, then this ridge of high pressure across the plains can move in, and that will set the stage for a very nice weekend once more, just like this weekend, really. So the big change, again, we've had to add rain chances for Friday in particular. Right now, it's not a huge rain chance. You know, Brian could be talking to you guys in the morning on Storm Talk, and this Friday system may be completely gone because it just popped up today. So we'll wait and see, but right now we'll keep at least a small rain chance for the end of the work week, and then we'll get that drier weather back in here no later than Saturday. No later than Saturday. All right, pause here to do comments. Who's watching? Who's watching a little late edition on this Sunday night? Albert's here. Anita's here. Yeah, the weekend's good, or was good. Hope the same for you. Jazzy Panda, hello. Storm Chaser Jason's here. Reagan's here. Hello, hello. Blue's here. Braden's here. And, of course, Wavy's here. Let's see. Kelly's here. ZK's here. What's up, ZK? How we doing? Shonda's watching in Jeffersonville. Hope you're still on the mend, Shonda. I know you said you got stuck with the COVID shenanigans. I hate to hear that. Hope you're feeling better. Tina's been enjoying the outdoors. Yeah, can't ask for much better for Labor Day weekend, right? Skull MD on Twitch says need rain down in Shep. Yeah, we all need rain, unfortunately. I didn't put the graphic in here. Let me see if I can find it. I do want to mention that we do have quite a few counties, with burn bans in Kentucky. Every county in red has a burn ban at this time. So that is Henry County, Shelby County, Spencer County, burn bans. Marion, Washington, LaRue, Green Taylor, and Adair. If you live in any of those counties, no burn, none. No prescribed burns, no bonfires, campfires, none of it. Which stinks because we're going into bonfire season, but bonfire season also usually is the driest season around here. And we've just really dried up here in the last few weeks. We got lucky through a good chunk of summer because we had such a crazy wet spring, as you all remember, but we've really dried up in the last 2-3 weeks, and now our luck is starting to run out. So again, if you're in any of these counties, no burn. And I would expect more of these counties to go red in the days ahead, too. Here's a look at the drought monitor. I'll take this full screen so you can see it better. And you see most of us are in that abnormally dry category, that yellow, which means we're teetering on a drought. Now you get down into our southern counties here, Marion, Taylor, Adair, you see some of those tan colors, that's a moderate drought. So that's kind of the onset of a full drought, if you will. And that's why there are so many burn bans in that part of Kentucky. So just wanted to mention that because, yes, Skull MD is correct. We need rain. And I think a lot of us will get rain this week, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to really help us much at all. Maybe limit the fire threat just a smidge, but that's about it. Gary's ready for cool air. I'm ready for cool air to stay, you know? This has been great the last week or so, but I'm ready for it to just stay here. I don't want any warm-ups. But we don't really have a ton of warm-ups on the way. Let's see. J-Wash is here on Twitch again. A lot of Twitch streamers tonight. Tina needs good weather this weekend, heading up to Ohio. Yeah, I think by this weekend should be okay. It's just that Friday system kind of being a little sneaky on us, unfortunately. Let's see, more comments, and then J-Wash, thank you. Thank you for catching the reference. Yes, I have been to 3 concerts. I'm not ashamed to say that. All in Louisville. Let's see. ZK, did you say definite rain for Thursday afternoon? Not definite. No, unfortunately not. It's a 40% chance. It's going to be scattered showers and storms right as that front's moving in. I think there will be some gaps in those showers and storms on Thursday. I don't think there will be as many gaps on Thursday compared to tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but there will still be gaps. So there's that. Danny says, watching you in the Notre Dame game. Yeah, I saw that game got started a little while ago. Should be a good one tonight. Lori's here on Facebook. Hello, hello. Jazzy Panda, pumpkin apple muffin wax melt in celebration of meteorological fall. Anything pumpkin or apple scented. It's always good this time of year, right? Let's see. All right. More comments later. Let's talk about the temperature changes. So we talked about how the highest rain chances this week are Thursday, although some of you could see rain tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But for most of us, the best chance is Thursday. Thursday is also the coolest day over the next 10. But it's not looking quite as cool as what it initially did, say, at the beginning of the weekend. I was convinced at the beginning of the weekend that Thursday would have a lot of 60s, as in a lot of you would be in the 60s on Thursday. But it looks like that may not be the case necessarily now. It'll still be cool. It'll still be damp, obviously, when those showers and storms rolled through. But it may not be quite as chilly necessarily. Chilly for September standards, right? So I bumped up the high temperature for Thursday to 74. And keep in mind, this could all change. You know, if the rain moves in early in the day, yeah, we'll go back to having more of that chilly setup. But the model's been kind of slowing down that front a little bit, making it more of an early afternoon deal. And if that's the case, we'll have time to get into the low 70s before it starts to rain. So 74 Thursday looks to be the coolest day of the week. But another change, and you'll see it on the 10-day in a moment, is the 70s might stick around just a smidge longer into next weekend. And that's thanks in part to that Friday rain chance that comes in that kind of keeps us in the upper 70s Friday and then into part of next weekend. So, again, very small changes to our forecast, but there's still changes worth mentioning tonight. 10 days coming up. Quick update on the tropics, too, because here we go again. We're watching this wave that is just now getting off the coast of Africa tonight. And just before we started our chat here this evening at 8 o'clock, the National Hurricane Center bumped up that chance of formation to 40%. Gabrielle is the next name on the list. That would be, let's see, the 7th named storm of the year. It's too early to talk about potential U.S. issues. It just is. The early indication is, well, it's just too early to say. I'll leave it at that. I will say the European ensembles want to develop this into a more organized system. The GFS ensembles, last time I looked, did not. Obviously, the National Hurricane Center is going to be more cautious and will highlight this wave as a system to watch. So it's bumped up to a 40% chance for development over the next week. As we mentioned, Gabrielle is the next name on the list. Otherwise, the tropics are quiet, but we are within 10 days of the peak of the season. The peak is September 10th. So we're getting there. You see Wavy, by the way, he also keeps track of all the climate numbers, the highs, the lows, how much rain we see. He doesn't do it just for Louisville. He does it for Frankfurt. You should see Bowman Field and Bowling Green pop up here in a second. We keep that info up for about 25 seconds at a time. There you see the numbers for Bowman Field today. So Bowman Field had a high of 82 today. Got down to 52 earlier this morning. A little cool, right? So Wavy's always on guard, even when the weather is quiet. Always, 24/7. Wavy's a good pup. All right, here comes your 10-day. 85 tomorrow. Low 80s Tuesday and Wednesday, mainly just because of those showers around. And then you see the 70s return on Thursday with that cold front moving through. And then you just kind of notice how it takes a little while for those temperatures to rebound. 78 Friday and Saturday, just kind of consistent, waiting to see what that last system may or may not do Friday. And then we start to get back into the lower 80s, perhaps by next Sunday, but more than likely into that following week. Now, I will say that following week, that second week of September, does look warm. Does it look hot? Not necessarily. It does look warm, though, back into the mid and upper 80s. So if we're going to have one last burst of warmer weather, it looks like it'll start in the second week of September. And then we'll just have to wait and see how long it lasts, right? But all in all, this is a pretty solid start to September, I'd say. Hopefully we can get some rain, especially Thursday. I think that's our best shot. After that, there may not be a ton for a little bit heading into the following weekend. So we'll see. We shall see. Back to more comments. You can digest the 10-day. If you have any questions for me, send them, and we'll answer them. And then we'll call it a night. Firing up the grill tomorrow. Love it. Yeah, good day to fire up the grill. Just watch for those downpours in southern Kentucky. That's the only issue tomorrow. Let's see. Laura, hello. Got the pool closed up this weekend. Heard from a firefighter in Floyd County. They are going to issue a burn ban on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. Good to know, Laura. Thank you for that. That is not surprising. I do believe there will be more burn bans popping up probably once we all come back from the holiday weekend, right? You know, a lot of those government offices are closed tomorrow, obviously. So that is no surprise that more burn bans are coming this week. You know, that, and like I said, guys, I hate to say this, but Thursday's rain, well, any rain this week is not going to be enough to put an end to the drought. It may be enough to wet the soils to kind of tamp down that burn potential, that fire potential. But I am concerned that this drought's going to get a little worse as we head into September. which is typically one of our driest months of the year. So we got lucky throughout much of the summer, but now that luck is running out. But thank you for sending that, Laura. Appreciate the info. Will this drought be as bad as the one in 2019? Goodness, I hope not. That was terrible. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I think I've told you all before, that drought in 2019, I was in Alabama at the time. I had just moved down there. And we hit 100 degrees the first 3 days of October. Horrible. So, I don't think it'll get that bad, but we'll definitely be a little dry for a bit. Allie can't wait for rain. Yeah, I'm with you. Can't wait. Kimberly needs sun, so I'm not a hermit. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Brandon's here. Hello, hello. Kenneth's here on YouTube. Sorry I'm late. This weather's been amazing. Hey, no, don't apologize for being late. No worries. And always remember, if you are late and you miss something, give it a couple minutes for the video to process, and wherever you watch this, you can replay it anytime you want. Tina, is Wavy going to go pink for breast cancer month in October? I don't know. That's a good question. I can confirm, by the way, that Wavy will not go red on alert days. Ryan confirmed that recently, because if Wavy did go red on alert days, he would look kind of evil. Right? So Wavy himself will stay blue, but any alerts that he gives us will be red. But Wavy himself will stay blue whenever there's bad weather. ZK, rain chance Tuesday night in southern Indiana. It's probably around 20%. I think for the Tuesday, Wednesday shower chances, those are better in Kentucky, and they're just a tiny bit lower in Indiana. It's like 20% in Indiana, 30% in Kentucky. And for all of us, it's 40% on Thursday. Danny, in general, have the tropics been fairly quiet? I can't give you a definitive answer on that. I'd have to go back and look at the records, but my gut feeling is it's pretty average, maybe even a little above average for this point in the year. It's just that we haven't really had many systems impact the U.S., right? We've had 6 named storms so far this year. That's pretty much on pace with last year, if I remember correctly. Helene, which would have been the 8th storm last year that was named, moved into the U.S. in late September. So we're about on pace with last year. It's the best answer I can give you, Danny, on the spot here. I'd have to look at more of the archives to say if we're below average or above average or anything like that. What type of dog would you say Wavy is? Well, Wavy's Wavy. He's his own dog. He's a new breed. The only kind of his breed. He does kind of look like a terrier, though, you know? I can see that. Let's see, is the summer ridge over, Gary asked. Now it starts in June and July, that ends the severe weather season. Well, yeah, for the most part. It's kind of shifted, the ridging weather pattern by and large has shifted west of us, and that's drying our friends to the west out quite a bit. That ridge has moved out. We've been in a trough, really, here in wave country the last couple of weeks, and that's why we've been below average with those temperatures. So there's that. Any last minute questions, comments, concerns before we go tonight, guys? Appreciate you tuning in. I know it's a little later than normal, but we appreciate you stopping by. If you're still going to be up tonight, spend your night off, I guess, if you don't have to work tomorrow. We'll be on Wave News at 11. Our last Sunday night for a while, where we're actually starting at 11, thanks to Sunday Night Football starting up next week. And we will have an update on the forecast, of course, for Labor Day weekend and beyond. Get your news headlines as well. Brian Good, you may have seen, by the way, he posted on his social media today. He was involved in a pretty scary accident on Friday. That's why you didn't see him on the air Friday. He's fine. He's a little banged up, but he's okay. He will be on Sunrise tomorrow morning on Labor Day. So he's all good. He's all good. Brian's all good. Harriet's fine. The turtles are okay. But in case you didn't see that on social media today, that's where Be Good was. He will be back tomorrow morning. He'll be on Sunrise starting at 4:30 in the morning, and he'll have his Storm Talk blog, I would assume, as well tomorrow morning. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks for the kind words, Shonda. Get well soon. Get well soon. ZK's ready for the football season to start. Let's see. Thanks for the kind words. Hope you enjoy your Labor Day as well, Jay Wash. Thank you, thank you. And we appreciate you guys always tuning in. All right, Brian's got you covered tomorrow morning. If you want to watch me on the Old School TV tonight at 11, I'll be there. And hope you enjoy your holiday. If you have it off, if you are heading to work, we're thankful for you. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. Take care.